Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another smartphone office video. Live life to its fullest. And this is a life game video. Live life to its fullest. Regardless of what you have to do. I'm going to tell you what, this past weekend, my heart was heavy. I found out somebody I knew back in college. And I had mentioned him a few times because I said he used to give me haircuts. Found out he passed away a few months ago. And I was just like, oh, man. You know how you keep up with somebody on Facebook? I was like, I hadn't heard from him. So I did some checking, found out he had passed away a few months ago. And he's only about a year older than me. But you know what? He did some stuff. He's getting some rest now. But he did some stuff in his life. He did some stuff. Played Division I basketball. Played pro overseas. And got drafted by He had got drafted by the New York Knicks. So I mean, he did some stuff. And then I know he did some stuff once he had stopped playing basketball, working in the school system and everything, helping young men and women. And I'm going to tell you what, I was thinking about that, not just for him, but for myself, because every now and then I'd be like, man, what have I done? But then I was like, well, hold up. You got a couple degrees. Yeah, I know y'all might not see it when y'all see car run, but I'm very good at code switching. So, as I always say, I can talk with them on the corner or I can talk with them in a corporate boardroom, whatever the case. But, I was like, well, I got a couple of degrees. I've written some books, popular on YouTube, been married, well, divorced, but got my two sons upstairs. That's probably why I'm not out driving anyway, because we're about to do something for Labor Day. We spend a lot of time, despite the age, we spend a lot of time together, and proud of that. Done a lot of things. In fact, I remember thinking about this before I was the age of 30. And I said, if I were to pass away, I can actually say I've done some stuff. And I'm going to tell you what. Life game. Forget all this noise, all this drama. Like, I ain't going to call the young lady's name, but she causing some drama now. Who really gives a fuck? I ain't gonna call her name, and if you put her name in the comments, I'm gonna delete the comment because this ain't about her. This ain't about all that drama. This is about your life. Your life. What are you doing with your life? Instead of worrying about the next person, or instead of worrying about somebody online, instead of worrying about somebody like myself, worrying about my age or something. Because, and this is for the detractors too. What the fuck are you doing with your life? Every man and woman need to be worried about what they've done in their life. Like, you know what? If I pass away today, I can say, you know what? I've done a lot. And I got, hey, look, 9 books on the market. 9 books that'll still be selling out there no matter what. Still, and you know how some people be stealing like clips from videos and stuff. People probably still be playing my videos. Like they doing Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace. But people still playing his videos. Whatever the case. Or just knowing that you've influenced somebody's life in a positive way. I've had people come back to me and say, hey, Uncle Rom, you did this, you did that. And you know what? Life's been good. Doing the things I want to do. And I had some trouble, but we all had some trouble. But I've learned from it. And see, that's what you got to do too. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. I don't care how tall you are, what your race is, whatever. What can you do? You know what? You might not look like Chad. You might not be 6'2". You might not be like super muscular. but you still can do something with your life. What are you doing? What is your mission? Your mission, not everybody else's, your mission. What are you doing? Whatever. You gotta have the mindset like, nah, this is what I'm supposed to do. Not what he's supposed to do, not worrying about what the next man's supposed to do, what you supposed to do. Because I'm gonna tell you what, going through life, it's just your life. I don't care. Don't be jealous of another person. Worried about what you supposed to do. Worry about what skill you develop. One of the things I've said before, I've said this on my Sovereign Man videos. I've said this on my Deep Thought channel. Shoot, I even probably said it on my Money Matters channel. This is something every man has to find his mission. Every man has to find a body of knowledge he can master. And he might take a lifetime to master, and there's nothing wrong with that. But every man should do that. What is he doing? If he were to pass away, what would people say about him? Oh, he just some person just doing whatever? Nah, they ain't good enough. Every man, that's the thing. And even when you're talking about dealing with the ladies, dealing with the women, as I always say, your main relationship is with yourself. So what are you doing? What can you look in the mirror and say that you've done? And I want y'all to think about that. I want every man to think about it. Every woman to think about that too. But this is mostly men on here. But any women watching you too. What are you doing? What's your skill level? I know a woman now, I've been telling her for years. I was like, you very good at this. You very good at this. And she finally listening. Because I've seen too many men and women. They would have talent at something, but they wouldn't use it. You got to use whatever talent you have and bring it to the fore. That's your main thing. However you worship God, whatever term you use, you've been given a gift. You've been given a talent. You got to make that light. First you got to find it. And I'm going to tell you what, don't ask me what that is. I don't know. And don't ask somebody else. You need to know yourself. You need to look in the mirror. You got to have that mirror talk. Shout out C. Boogie. He talked about that in one of his books. You got to have that. You got to have that life game. That's the most important thing. And I'm going to tell you what. And yeah, there's going to be some times you're down because I ain't going to lie. Sometimes I'll be like, man, what am I doing? But then I get some good rest and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and this. Got this to do. Like I said, I got 9 books on the market. I still got at least one more book that I've been thinking about in a style that I've been wanting to write for a while. And I got to work on that. I gotta work on that. I got no more excuses. I gotta work on that. And then once that's done, I'm like, okay, I'm good now. I'm good. But then I'll probably come up with a few more books to write. Shoot. I've written some movie scripts. Met some people. I've done all of that. But that's me. You can't worry. You got to say, well, what am I doing? Where am I going? What am I doing with my life? And even when you're talking about the ladies need to be, I mean it when I say the women need to be in cooperation with your operation, because the main thing is still what you doing. You ain't doing anything just to please me. You ain't doing anything to please any of the ladies out here. You doing it because that's what your skill is. Your skill could be cutting grass. You know what? Be the best grass cutter. Your skill could be sweeping or something. Be the best sweeper. Whatever the case. But it's your life. It's your life. And I'm going to tell you what. And I don't care what's happening out here. I don't care what's happening politically. I don't care what's going on. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you developing yourself as? And see, I'm going to tell you what. You never know. You never know. Like I talked with a dear friend, big brother to me, and learned a lot from him. But he was only a year older than me. I don't know. Shoot, I take ever since I had my stroke, I be taking everything one day at a time and still doing my thing. Still doing the things that I need to do, I want to do. And the only thing left is global conquest, but I'm working on that one. Yeah, I'm only laughing halfway. Anyway, just, you know what? You just keep going. And I'm going to tell you what. It might take a lifetime. You still going and do it. You still going and live the life that you are meant to live. That's the most important thing. Not what, like I said, not even doing what I'm doing on here. Your most important thing ain't worried about what's going on with me or what's going on with, I'll just say, some young lady from overseas. And I ain't gonna call her a name, but there's a lot of talk about that. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I saw it, I was just like, yeah, let me write down what videos I'm gonna do for the next week. I still gotta make my videos for next week. I still gotta do some stuff with my sons. That's important to me. And then people hit me up privately. They be asking me, they be like, hey, they be talking to me for some stuff. I find out what they want to do and let them figure it out. And I was like, what you good at? Okay, why don't you go ahead and do that? That's what I be saying. I'm just like, hey, you know? Because when I look back at my life, I was like, you know, I've always wanted to do stuff. I remember I dealt with this young lady. How was I? This was like late 90s. And I was talking about all the stuff that what my plan was. And I was telling her some stuff. She was like, I think you've done all of that, haven't you? You doing that now. I was like, oh, snap. Well, that's what I'm telling you. A lot of times you've been doing it. Look at what you're doing now. Look at the things that you're good at. Look at the things that you want to do that you are good at. Focus on that. You know? And I know, like, on this channel, guys be coming on here mainly talking about the whole man gets woman thing. But the women are, I'm going to tell you what. Let me hit y'all with some game with that. The woman needs to fit into what you want to do. Because I'm going to tell you something with women. If you stop whatever, she's attracted to you for whatever you do. Because, like I said, my main thing is writer. When I look at the women who've had the strongest attraction for me, they were into writers. And I wasn't writing just to get ladies. I was writing because that's what I wanted to do. So whatever you do, you need to do what you do. That need to be your main relationship. And then find the women who are the commercial to your main program. And I want y'all to think about that. Do the things that you need to do. Live your life. Live your life. Don't be living a second-hand life. Ayn Rand, she was actually going to call her monumental book Secondhand Lives. No. Well, one of her monumental books. She's written a couple. It was either The Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged, but that's a whole other conversation. That's for my Deep Thought channel. But whatever the case, you don't want to live that secondhand life. You don't want to be one of these men out here who don't have anything going on. I'm gonna tell you what. I ain't worried about having 1 million subscribers. I am not having it. Every now and then somebody be like, oh, you should have more subscribers. No. Because I want the men not just being wolves. I've said that. But I want the men doing something. I want to know that I inspired you to do something to get your life together. When guys tell me that, I actually like that more than tell me how many women they got. And especially the men, because we need that nowadays where everybody's talking about men this and men that. Well, that's my main thing. And if I can help the ladies out too, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that either. But my main thing is helping the men to do the things that they are meant to do. And we need that. This society needs that. I don't care what anybody says, all right? And I want y'all just to do that. Live your life. Figure out what you want to do. And I'm going to tell you what, here's a trick. What is it you like to do? What you called to do? And don't worry about the money or anything like that. Worry about more what you're capable of doing. And don't worry about being like that next man. That next man got his own mission. And I don't care. I don't care what that man look like. I don't care how tall he is. You might not look like him. Might not be as tall. But you know what? He don't have your mission. Whatever you built like, whatever situation you in, that's part of your mission. And part of, even if it's a bad situation, you're only in it to learn something. Because then once you learn something, you get past it, then you can apply that to your mission, to your life, all right? So anyway, that's all I had. That's all I had. Just my big brother. Just I know he's resting in peace and everything. So that's cool. That's cool. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all. I'll get back with y'all tomorrow. All right. I'll probably something else I got to do Wednesday. I'll probably do another office video. I'll probably do a car video tomorrow, though. Y'all get to see me, one of my code switches, because I got to be a little bit rougher in the streets. Anyway, y'all have a good day today. Y'all enjoy y'all Labor Day, all right? Peace and blessings.